here we are. We got a fresh new episode of Over the Beer. Today we're going to have Jay Cronier coming on. We're going to talk a little 4 o'clock, 8 o'clock football action. If you're a sports bettor, maybe we can help you out with a little parlay. We'll see. The wife's going to pop down. We're going to try out a new beer for the Over the Beer portion of the segment. We're also going to talk about It Part 2. It's out in theaters now. We caught the premiere on Thursday. We'll talk a little bit about what we thought there. But the beer we're going to be checking out today, the Shell House, we're doing a Pomegranate hard seltzer. It's still summertime, so we're going to take advantage of that for at least the next few weeks. We got 5% ABV, a little bit higher in the calorie count than the traditional. I know a lot of people are White Claws people, or I'm a Truly guy, 100 cal. This is $1.20. A little bit more sugar, so maybe that's where the flavor is going to come in. We'll see. We'll see how we like this. But I believe we're going to start out talking a little football, and then we will dive in from there. We'll be talking about it, so stay tuned. Patriots just signed Antonio Brown, so I'm going to rock my Pats cup. We'll be about 14-2, take the Eastern Conference by storm. But we will have to wait. I'm trying to grab, hey, what's up? So I'm trying to grab Jay now. Our modern day Adam Schefter is here. I just came through with the intro. How's it going, Jay?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. What are you thinking? What do you got today for football?
It looks like a pretty good lineup for today. I haven't really looked at the schedule.
Okay, no worry. We'll run through it. I got the lines in front of me, so we can touch on that. I guess start out, just chat a little bit about the AB signing. What do you think? What's going to happen?
I think it's going to work out nicely in New England. I think it was a giant ploy this whole time between him and his agent.
Yeah.
I think he got traded to Oakland because there's no way that Pittsburgh would have traded him to the Patriots,
right,
let alone anybody in the division.
Yeah.
So, and he quickly realized when he got to Oakland that he did not want to be there.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, would you take Tom Brady, or are you going to go on the opposite end? Who do you want to, who do you want to? Hager's not impressed. We know that from yesterday.
Yeah, he's pissed.
No, I agree. I've kind of been on the AB train for a bit, hoping he was going to get cut ever since, like, the helmet issue. I think that was a bunch of BS, too. But I'll be curious now. There's a lot of Gronk talk coming out. Do you think, does this kind of take the workload off him a little bit? Do you think that's even more enticing for Gronk now?
I personally think that Gronk will be coming back, especially now with the news of AB.
Yeah.
I've been saying this basically since he announced he was going to retire, that he was going to come back, and his first game back was going to be in Week 10 because we have a bye in Week 9.
Yeah. And
so I think he'll be back with the team Week 8, and then his first game back will be Week 10.
Yeah.
And so with Antonio Brown signing with the Pats, I think it's more enticing for him to come back because it won't put a lot of stress on him playing as much.
Right. Yeah. I mean, even if he's thrown 4 times a game, he doesn't have to be out there every down blocking.
Yep.
We're going to be more pass happy, I think. We're going to look like the 7-8 Pats where I don't know. We'll see what AB can do with Josh Gordon. That's a nasty lineup, dude. I'm pumped.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Is that the game, the Week 10, is that right after the holidays, too?
I think it's right after or around Thanksgiving.
Okay. I knew it was in that mix because I was going to set the over-under at Christmas, so you're saying slightly under that. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let's dive in. The goal here, we were going to try to throw together a 4 o'clock parlay. The Pats are tonight, so we can look at that game too. Leading off, we got Colts Chargers, LA at home, -6. I mean, personally, I think that's a gimme line, but what are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, -6. I mean, anything above a 3-point spread in the NFL is tough. But yeah. I think the Chargers going against, Jacoby Brissett,
right,
and it's just a not so good Colts defense.
Yeah,
it is very enticing, and I think they cover 6 easily.
I do. I think that's a 2-score game. Obviously, at home, the Colts are coming off the luck loss. They finally had. It looked like they were pulling it together. I thought they were going to be a 10-win team. Now I think they're 3 or 4. So watch out, Miami.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. No, I think we're in agreement there. This one's interesting. Seattle's at home against Cincinnati. 9.5 going to the Bengals. Personally, when I first saw this line, I wanted to jump right on it, and then I mean, I know you recently introduced the teaser thing. Is that a thing in the NFL, or what does that look like?
Yeah, I've been throwing a lot of teasers in with Seattle, getting
Yeah.
another 6 points, bringing the line down to 3.5.
Right.
And I think at 9.5, the Bengals actually cover that.
I think, yeah.
I just think that Seattle is lacking right now on the defensive front, even though since he's not like an offensive threat,
Right.
but they still have some very valuable positions filled by like Tyler Boyd.
Yep.
And their quarterback Andy Dalton, he's not bad.
No, dude, he's got a nice set of hair too. He looks just like you. No, I agree. I see this being maybe a 7-point game, so 9.5. I don't feel super comfortable. But if you were going to tease it down to 3.5, I'd take that in a heartbeat. Seattle at home. If not, maybe stay away from this game. I don't know. I think this could be the line's going to be too close. You know what I mean? It's a tough one. So, all right. So no, I think we're pretty close there. Dallas and the Giants. That's going to be Cowboys Giants at 4:25. It's in Dallas. 7-point spread going to the Giants. This one here, I think this is a gimme as well. Yeah, Saquon, he's going to do his thing. But until your boy Golden Tate comes back, I don't see the Giants being much of a threat offensively. Maybe a 13-point score for them, and I think it's going to be 23-28 for Dallas. So I think this is a 2-score game as well. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. I mean, the Cowboys, especially getting Zeke back.
Right, that was big.
Is just loaded with talent, and their offensive line is arguably the best in the league. And the Giants are just, right now, they are a joke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Giants, they, until the other guy that looks kind of like Eli Manning comes in, this generation's going to be in trouble here for the next year or two, I think. So,
yeah, basically. Yeah. And until Eli's, like, unofficial brother.
Right. The guy that would play him in a Hollywood film, but now he's actually on the team, too. You know what I mean? It's kind of wild. I agree, and I don't even know how good. I mean, I think he'll be good, but I don't know. I think the Giants are in trouble for the next decade. I mean, I hate them. They screwed us over twice. They got lucky, so they can suck as long as they want.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that one's fairly reasonable. Interesting line, just because we don't know enough about what the Cardinals are going to look like. Arizona at home. Lions, obviously, on the road, but giving up 2.5 points. I don't know what your thoughts are on Murray. Obviously, DJ again this year. Obviously, new coordinator who's offensive happy. What are your thoughts?
So I am on the side of going against Kyler Murray because I just don't think he has what it takes to be an NFL quarterback.
Yep.
He's listed at like 5'10" or something, but I think he's like really like 5'8".
I was going to say, says my short friend who should be supporting him.
Yeah, I mean, I also have a lot of like side bets going against Kyler for the season.
Yeah. No.
So I think the Lions' defense also is very underrated, and I think that they go in and actually like beat Arizona by like 14 points.
Jeez. I think I took that as well. I went -2.5 in my parlay. I agree. I think Patricia, obviously you saw what he did in New England. We were always defensive minded. And Arizona's unproven. DJ, worst season of his career last year. Murray's a rookie. I mean, until they come out and consistently put up 24 to 28 points a game, I think the Lions are good there. And I think they're, I was comfortable with that 2.5-point line. So I'll be curious. Yeah, and I don't think AZ really has much of a home presence. I don't even know if NFL really matters as much, but I think that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about their home crowd, but I assume that it's not great.
No, it's too hot, dude. Even this time of the year, I wouldn't want to be in, what is it, Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken?
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be going to a game. So, no, I think the Lions are good there. Also, another, I guess this one could go either way. You got the 49ers at the Bucks. Tampa Bay's giving up 1 point to San Fran. I don't know. When I first saw this, I thought it was like an easy pick 'em, take the 49ers and just don't think about it. But I don't know. You never know with Tampa Bay. They're scrappy. They can put up some points in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards Tampa Bay. I mean, it's basically a pick 'em at this point.
Right.
I mean, Jimmy G, he's really kind of unproven still.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay on that one, just because they do have some good wide receivers, and Jameis really has to prove that he can play in the NFL,
right,
in order to stay in the league.
Yeah.
And Peyton Barber at running back, he's not very bad at all.
No, I got him as a steal, like a late round pick in my work league, and I feel comfortable with him as like a occasional flex back, or even, you know what I mean, he could be a filler too or something like that, you know. So
yep.
I'll say I did take the 49ers in my bet. I mean, I think, like you said, it is a pick 'em, and I want to give Jimmy G the benefit of the doubt, being a Pats guy. So I guess until he's proven to himself too, similar to Murray, he's really never done anything in the NFL if you think about it. He's been
no, other than, you know, he came in and he won 2 games, you know, on the Patriots offense, and, you know, I mean, Ryan Mallett went 11-5 with us one year, so.
Right. No, yeah, prominent backup, and then trying to play like Michael Vick and getting himself injured. That's all I've ever seen out of Jimmy G so far. So We'll see. So yeah, no, that one will be interesting. You never know; it could go either way. The last game we'll just touch on, then I'm going to jump into it with Chell. So I won't keep you too long, so you can get on to the 1 o'clock games. We got the Pats and Steelers tonight, 8:20. We're in New England. We got all the frickin' hype in the world now with AB in town. Gronk talks. I think Pats minus 5.5, even though it's against a scrappy Steelers bunch. I think that's a lock. I think we win this game by 16 points. Yeah, I think we come out firing. We score 38 tonight, and they score somewhere mid-20s, maybe. But that's just me. Originally, I was kind of almost siding towards the Steelers plus 5.5, but I've shifted. Maybe I'm just hyping it up. What do you think?
So I'm going to go off the recent past for the New England Patriots, and I hate to say it, I'm actually picking the Steelers to win this game.
Ooh, really? You're going straight money line.
Straight money line.
No tease.
If you don't want to take the money line, I strongly suggest taking Pittsburgh plus 5.5.
Yeah.
I mean, the Patriots in the past 5 years have not started off hot at all.
Yeah.
A lot of 2-2 starts, 1-3 start in there the year that we won. We basically take the month of September and use it as basically an extended preseason to figure everything out.
Okay.
And then that's where we start rolling. Pittsburgh's also very scrappy. Juju Smith-Schuster is very talented.
Yeah, he's
able to move on from Antonio Brown.
Yep.
And James Conner is also very, very good.
As good as Lave, almost, in my opinion.
Yeah, as good as Lave.
Yeah.
And Big Ben, he's been in the league for a long time, and he's beaten the Pats before. They beat us last year, so he knows what it takes to win.
All right, so this one, I'll throw this out there, offer to you. I'll give you Pittsburgh 5.5, $20, you and I.
All right, I'll make that bet.
All right, we'll put that on our tab then. All right, cool. Well, this is good, dude. I think we're pretty much close, with the exception of 2 close games, I think, could be. So I appreciate you jumping on, and we'll see what happens here this afternoon. And we'll get you back on throughout the season to see, you know, some updates, and we'll do some other, maybe get you over for an actual beer soon too.
Perfect. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, sugar water, dude. Well, enjoy the games. NFL is back, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, later.
All right, bye.
All right. Well, without further ado, that was nice of Jay to pop on here with us. I'm looking forward to these afternoon games. I'm going to grab my wife. We're going to talk a little It. I got the original miniseries here just as a prop. We caught the 5:30 showing last Thursday. I believe it was one of the first showings they offered. Chell, why don't you jump in here with me? We're both Brady'd out, big-time hometowners. What are you going to do?
We're excited.
Yeah. So I already introduced the beer, but we're looking at the Shell House. I was saying it looks like it's going to be a little bit more sugar than a traditional seltzer that we've done in the past.
It smells sugary, too.
Let's give it a try. Just do kind of an initial flavor take on this.
It smells like those Smartie candies.
Yeah, if you like melted them with aspartame, right? Tastes like a diet seltzer.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Got that aspartame flavor right off the bat.
Very sugary. I can't believe it's only 5 grams.
The unicorn flavor of like the seltzer waters. This is what I picture it as tasting like.
Oh yeah. Good analogy.
Yeah, so we'll kind of drink this throughout our chat, and we'll kind of come up with something at the end.
I'll
But
sip.
first review there. Not thoroughly impressed.
No, not really. There was definitely way too many creatures that they overdid it with, like the mom, for example, or not the grandmother, but where
the lady,
Beverly used
the resident,
to live.
the marsh resident.
She was what, like 10 feet tall?
Yes.
Got very over the top.
So yeah, no, they did a kind of a weird job at trying to like make things scary. So like that scene, it introduced Beverly went back to where she was brought up, and there was an older woman that lived there. She informed her that her father had passed. She had been out of dairy for God knows how long, so she didn't even know it. She seemed like a sweet older woman. It was like something you'd see in a really scary movie.
And when she first came out creepy, that was good. But then it overdid it. Like she ran by and she was normal size and just like scary looking.
Yeah.
But
it's like, holy cow, we just saw some saggy boobs.
But then when she got big,
Yeah, and then so she basically, it was like the classic grandma scene in the movie, and then she comes creeping out, and then all of a sudden she's 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, this went from being creepy to, like, what is this decision? Like, I almost wanted to ask the director at that moment. So agree, that was one scene. They definitely, like, with the traditional It ending, they did like the big spider, which was like what was part of it. It's sci-fi, you got to expect that. I thought they went a little over the top of that.
Hold on, is it sci-fi? That's a stat.
Yeah,
I just thought it was horror.
No, it's a horror sci-fi.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
That's like a lot of like why.
Not realize it.
That's like why I don't discredit this as much as like some of the people we saw it as did. Yeah. It's a sci-fi movie. You gotta like expect it to be sci-fi. But it's still it's better than this. If you want to watch this, you're gonna get a 5 out of 10 movie. If you're gonna look at the It Part 2, I'd say maybe 7 out of 10, 7.2-ish, like a solid C+. The original It Part 1, I thought it was good. I thought it was like probably 82.
Definitely nothing's better than the originals, but
no, the
first
Part 1.
First Part 1.
Part 1 was better than the original.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, the second one was over, and it was too long. It was almost 3 hours. The ending was dragged out when they were trying to like chat towards the end. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Where they're like trying to end the movie, and they're like, "We'll keep in touch," and all that was definitely way too dragged out.
Agreed. I mean, honestly, and this is like going back to Part 1, now Part 2. The character of Richie Tozier is like the only person that's kept this movie alive. It was Finn Wolfhard, obviously known from Stranger Things. He was there. And then Bill Hader played him in this movie, and he was obviously the best character in this It. So, I mean, the humorous, like, undertone, like, basically making it a colorful movie, that's kind of kept us interested, I think. If it wasn't for that humor aspect, it would be, like, a pretty boring movie.
The creatures kind of reminded me of ones from, like, The Hobbit.
Oh, really?
Way.
Oh, like the big tree-like characters?
Well, I was thinking of, remember when the scene when she was, like, the guy was downstairs at the drugstore, and he was trying to save his mom.
Yeah.
And that thing attacked, and the face was just, like, all, like, crazy looking.
Well,
you know what I'm talking
I know what you're talking about. I'm going to play that
losing teeth
the complete opposite way.
Oh.
No, I think you're right.
Reminded me of, like, another movie.
A lot of the characters also reminded me of Zombieland.
Yeah. The person that saved the one from the mental institute.
He
looked like a zombie.
In the first movie, like one of the bullies.
He was a bully.
Yeah, he got rescued by his other bully friend, who was in the first Part 1. He was one of the guys that was grabbed in the sewer that was doing the with the fire. Remember?
Do it again? I don't remember. Okay,
All right, yeah.
now.
So it was that kid. He was grabbed. At the beginning of the movie, the bully number 1 was out of the sewer. Famously in It 1, he was the one that stabbed Bill's character, which didn't allow him to go into the It battle, which is kind of wild because Bill basically brought everyone back together. So it's
And
like,
one
you're going to
question,
sit this
did
out.
Eddie die in the first movie, the original movie?
Eddie did not die.
So
Nobody
that was a
died in the
twist.
first movie.
Yeah, that was a twist.
So spoiler
So I
alert,
don't
if you
know-
haven't seen it, Eddie dies, and then Richie has a big crush on
I was
Eddie.
going to say, did that kind of play into them kind of say that he had a crush when he died?
I feel like there was a lot of, like, I guess, gay undertone, which was nice in a way.
Different.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they did
The beginning.
the beginning was based off of true events in Portland, right? You were telling me?
Bangor, but
Oh, Bangor.
Yeah, and the guy was originally from Portsmouth.
So they were at
in,
a
like, the 80s.
carnival. There was 2 gay men. They were having a great time. And apparently this was in Derry in the movie, but it was actually based off of a true story just to pay homage to, like, almost like how brutal it was and ridiculous. Like the 80s, obviously, we weren't quite where we are today with diversity. So I thought that was a cool tribute, and it was a gory scene. The kid got...
it made me feel bad. I didn't like seeing that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was based on a true story, so I get why he, like, threw that in there.
Yep.
But I still just felt
that was also
kind of a weird start to it.
That's what kind of motivated, I was reading a little about it, it motivated Stephen King to write the book.
Oh, yeah.
He was out, like, he was a little frustrated, and he, like, went into writing the It movie, like, with a little anger.
So in the book, that scene is in there, kind of?
I believe it's in the book, and a lot of, like, the goriness was just, like, kind of a little bit of Stephen King, like, letting his anger out in his writing, which is pretty cool. So he starts out with, like, a kind of a negative, sad gay scene, but then at the end, obviously, you have Richie. You now see he carved the R+E, Richie and Eddie, in the side of the bridge, and now it's kind of a happy-go-lucky ending for that community. It was really cool. Definitely thought that was neat.
And then Stephen King's cameo. I didn't realize he had been in other movies, but did you tell me that he had made cameos in other movies?
He's popped into a few of his movies over time.
I mean, I know he wrote
Or
the
books,
book.
yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't direct it. I just didn't realize that he was a part of that. So that was kind of cool.
He's done a few. Yeah, he was in, like, a thrift type shop where they sold older items, and once you see it, you'll recognize obviously Stephen right away. But in the original book, Bill had hung on to High Hole Silver, the bike that was kind of big in the original movies. But in this movie, they actually had, was it Richie that went and got the bike? Or, no, who grabbed it? Billy went and got it? If it was, it probably would have been Billy. That would make sense.
Remember he went to the sewer.
Where his brother.
Sewer scene,
Yep. So Billy was in this thrift shop. Billy's an author in real life, and he goes up, and Stephen King's the person working the store, overprices the bike because he knows Billy's an author, which was kind of funny. And then Billy offers Stephen King an autograph of his book because Stephen had it, like, he was, like, reading it current day. And Stephen King's like, nah, I'm all set. Your endings stink. And that was, like, a funny thing throughout the movie. They kept talking about how his books were great.
But the ending was terrible.
Right. So it was just a hilarious jab.
Yeah.
So
that was a good scene, I thought.
Yeah, that was definitely cool.
And then I liked how you made the analogy after the movie of the scene when they were at the carnival and Billy was trying to save that little boy, and he was in
the glass house.
Scene, and you thought it, like, kind of reminded you of that Us movie, or
Jordan Peele, Us. Yeah, I brought that up to a friend. He kind of discounted it a little bit, but I mean, the carnival vibe, I get that. That's kind of what it is. He's a clown, but the way that the carnival scene was set up, the colors, like almost the aesthetic of it, tell me it didn't feel like Us.
Yeah. And you said that wasn't in the original movie.
Correct.
The carnival scene.
Yeah, no, it definitely wasn't. And was that Billy again?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Billy.
Because remember, he saw the kid at the sewer, so then he was trying to save
He had a rough go. Yeah. Poor Billy. So Billy was in a glass house, and it just felt super Us-y. Like, obviously, that's, like, one of the more prevalent scenes in that movie. So yeah, no, definitely check it out. It's colorful. It's fun.
Different.
It could have been a masterpiece. Like the first one I thought was leading up, and I was like, if you can do that with kid actors, like imagine like you bring adults into the mix, like you have a Bill Hader.
I feel like the first one though was more towards like the original. The second one they kind of try to make their own twist to it.
Well, the thing that like stinks about it is like in the original front side of the disc, so first part of the miniseries, obviously it's still geared towards them as adults. It starts out with basically when Bill's calling them all back to Derry. They do like subtle, like small flashbacks throughout, but it's like not super like kid actor oriented. This one, the original part 1, all kids, part 2, adults, but then a lot of kid flashbacks. So it was like, I think they were just playing off the Stranger Things vibe still. I said that after part 1. They're like using that culture.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the original It movie anyways, it was 90% adult. So, I don't know. I'd like to reread the book. I read it when I was 10. I don't remember much.
Heavy book to read at 10.
I saw
Isn't it like 600 pages too?
Like 1,500.
Oh my god.
I saw 8 Mile in theaters, Halloween, at my 3rd birthday party. My parents were just letting me go balls out.
I guess so. Oh my gosh.
But look who I am today.
And then
I'm
you
awesome.
gave me crap for seeing Dreamcatcher at like 13.
I mean, I just thought your family was slightly stricter than that. So anyways, let's wrap up here. We'll just obviously, have you even tried this again since the original?
Yeah, I had a sip.
Okay, because I want to give it a solid review. We'll go obviously 0 to 10.
I mean, honestly, now that I keep sipping it, it kind of tastes like an Angry Orchard, even though
It gets better, right?
Apple.
It gets better.
It's
Weird.
pomegranate.
I don't know if this is all psychological, but I'm tasting Angry Orchard now too.
Right? That's weird.
Okay.
So it makes me want an Angry Orchard now.
Oh boy,
So I
Mom's
don't
gone
think
crazy.
This 2 sips and I'm cut off.
Yeah, she's probably
Yeah.
a .02.
But yeah, no, it's not bad. I definitely, if I was going to do a seltzer, though, I would do a Truly's.
Yeah, I'm a
Less
Truly's guy, too.
calories. Probably, no sugar?
Yeah,
almost?
yeah. I guess better than the claws, the law, or whatever they say.
Yeah.
Not into that life.
White Claw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Give it a quick scoring, and we'll wrap this up. Watch some football.
7.2.
I feel like that's.
Is
I feel like that's high. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I would give Truly's like a 7.8. I mean, it's your score.
Oh.
I feel like I'd give Truly's like a 7.8, and it's like one of my favorite things.
Well, I was going to say for a seltzer.
Oh, we just want purely seltzer? We got to go all beer.
Oh.
Like you
I
can
was
throw.
just thinking compared to the Truly's, Truly's is better, so I don't want to.
Oh, that was creepy. Anyways, I would go probably like, it's not terrible. Maybe like 6.1.
Oh.
It's like, it's good.
I wouldn't get it.
I
again
wouldn't
by
buy it
any
again.
means.
I feel like a 7 point something.
It's
You're
just, even
buying
though
it
it's
again.
5 grams. It's way too sugary for me.
It's like
I
it's
feel
like
like
fake
I'm
sugar
drinking
tasting. It's like
candy.
not
Yeah.
not good sugar.
All
So
right, fine, a 5.
oh, what'd you go with originally?
7.2.
Okay, so you're a 7.2. I'm a 6.1.
First time.
All right, first timer. You
Yeah.
heard it here first. Well, go Patriots. Go
Yeah.
AB. Gronk, come back soon. If you hear this, check me out over the beer.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, cool. Later.
That was good. I was nervous coming in, you know how I am, but I was like thinking I just